up for the bigger move higher.
But see, that little correction, that's not enough to scare me out. So even if that happens, I'm going for it.
I really like this actually. Like this
Yeah.
is
How you like me now?
nice find. I mean, this
Yes.
is
This old dog can still hunt, let me tell you.
you bring some pretty good stuff to the table. I mean, I took the trade yesterday. I actually got in for 20 cents on that
Fermi?
on Fermi, yeah, at the 850 strike. I got filled at 21 cents, it looks like here
Nice.
yesterday.
It's
I was
nice.
going for 22 during the show. I got filled at 21. It's up to 27 today. Big deal. I'll
Yeah.
just ride it out.
Yeah.
So this has only got 2 days left on it before maybe I roll it or whatever.
I
So
sold I sold the $10 call on that again yesterday.
yeah. So we'll see what
And
happens on
and
that
I
one.
sold the 1050.
I'll
Yeah.
have to put this MRAM on my
Yeah, let's take a look at this MRAM. Yeah, I know it only has monthlies now, but if it picks up uh,
how's the
volume, then they'll establish some options for it. The more popular a stock gets, the uh, CBOE will catch on. They changed all the options in Fermi because it got a little bit better, but I think this is a little sneak up run. No one will see
oh
it
man.
coming.
Holy.
Dog, I'm telling you, this thing. I That's why I was late. But the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America was beautiful this morning. Number one, and number two, this thing had me my head spinning. Yeah,
Got you a little excited, it looks like.
got me all jacked up. Yeah,
Let's see what we can find here. I'm gonna pull this up on PXO and see what we got cooking
let's
here.
see. Let's see. So let's go back to that pattern too. I want to have you explain that better after you find the strikes.
Yeah, it stems from an Elliott wave pattern. It's just an Elliott wave 1-2 big picture 1-2 pattern because I was on the weekly chart.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's not meeting my filter criteria since we have only the weekly or only the monthly.
Yeah,
It
mine either.
goes out past the. Let's pull it in here though.
Volume picks
MRAM.
up, if the volume picks up, CBOE will start listing it, maybe options weekly.
Well, yeah, it only had like 1.5 million shares
Yeah,
today.
that's the
So
problem.
let's
Needs a little
see.
more PR.
Gotta grab an expiration. Oh, come on now. One of these. Not even gonna let me type it in. It needs to be like 15. Yeah, it's not even. It doesn't even like that stop right there.
No, it's just too rough, too early. Um,
Yeah.
but the premiums are juicy, and I think the chart looks amazing.
So you gotta do it the old-fashioned way on the calculations,
Yep,
and
eyeball it and just take a guess.
so we're
Use a
talking
calculator.
about 6.70 cents on
Selling a cash secured put at
12.50.
1250.
That's 5% in 30 days.
Not a bad sandwich.
That's 68% return a year
I
for the
like it.
1250.
That's over our
That's
target.
over the goal. So this could be a pretty darn good one right here.
I'm
Just
telling you. But here's the thing is I'm going to put the triple header play on it because if I just do the cash secured puts and it rips, I miss the rip. Although
yeah.
I made nice cash. So I'm going to go along the stock just so everybody knows. I bought the stock today right before the show because I'm looking for a rip. And then in addition to that, I'm going to sell some covered calls against some of the position, but not all of it. I want to leave some of it uncapped, but I want to bring in cash flow on the stock. So I'm going to sell some calls. And in addition to that, I'm going to sell some cash secured puts. That's the triple header play. And I love doing that when I have a high conviction the stock is going higher. That's the only time. Otherwise, I just stick with the normal old wheel, which starts off with a cash secured put. It's a good
Yeah,
wheel stock, good ripping stock. I think it's going to get more popular. It's kind of undiscovered. Pure speculation.
Well, it's been sufficiently bumming everybody out for years.
Me
I
too.
mean,
I threw in the towel on that before I ever heard that term. Yeah, it just really it was like a waste of money, you know. And if I didn't have it on margin, but here's a case where margin would kill you, is if you bought this thing on margin and it goes sideways, all that money you margined, you're just paying to hold a stock that's not going up. That's not what you want to do. So, yeah, this thing probably bummed everybody out, and people threw in the towel and the lack of good PR. Yeah, that's what you're seeing right there. But maybe now, no, maybe now something different. And wow, what a potential from 15 to where could it go according to Professor
yeah, I'm trying to
Money
draw it
Mutt?
on here a little bit while you're talking, so I can give you a little more explanation of
Yeah, good. This,
what
folks,
I'm.
this is probably the biggest money making pattern he has. Would I be right? In
Uh, I mean,
terms
if it
of big
works,
gains?
if it works, this is where the money is made. Catching this right here. This is what I did. Just to I want to put a pin in this one for just a second and take a trip back over here to NEM really quickly, which is where I made a big chunk of money last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what I was thinking when I saw it.
Same pattern right here. Same pattern played out. And look at that, right? I punched out right here, and it's right up there to it.
Hmm.
Same exact pattern that we're looking at.
Jack needs a big hit, let me tell you.
See, so we're about to dive into something called Elliott wave theory.
All right.
And an impulsive move, which is a trending move in the market, typically occurs in five waves, is what they call it. But it's five moves. The first move off the low, the second move, the third move, which is the biggest, most powerful move. And if you can catch that move or catch a piece of that move, it's where you can make big money fast. Then we have another corrective type move, counter trend, and then the finality move of the trend. So trend, pullback, continuation, pullback, continuation. This is why I love this pattern. I talk about me being a trend pullback continuation trader. This Catching this piece in here is where you make the big money. Now, yet last year, back in November, December, I was picking up some January 2026 out here calls at 60 strike, way out of the money. Right down here is where we were. Gold was sucking. Nobody was talking about it. I was buying these 60 strike calls. 60 strike. I paid about a dollar. Actually paid 98 cents for them, just under a dollar. And this thing started. I thought gold and silver was going to be the big trade of 2025, and it pretty much was. And just started ripping. Now, when we got in here on this pullback in April, May ish, in my own personal account, I'd gone a little too big and I got spooked out and closed about half of it. But my mom's account, I kept the full position because she told me she wanted exposure to this, and I put $1,000 on it. And this ripped up here. And when we got into the 80s, those calls I had paid a dollar for were now worth like $23 a piece. And I closed them out. And when you have $1,000 worth at a dollar a piece, that's 10 contracts. 10 contracts, when you got $23 profit, turns into $23,000 profit.
That's a big hit.
That was my mom's account. And then my account, I had another 500 contracts. So I made about $12,000 in that account on top of that.
35 grand takedown.
So that was a pretty big trade for me last year.
Now, where are we if you compared this to MRAM? Where are we are we at 2B on
So,
MRAM?
well, ignore the B's. So there's two patterns that can be the same pattern. It can be a corrective A, B, C, and
Uh-huh.
it would stall out right here lower. And that's why I got out at 83. Or if it's a impulsive, which is what this looks like, we're looking for the top of three. Four is probably going to occur back in here somewhere, and then we'll get the finality move on NEM. So keep that pattern in mind. MRAM.
That finality move, is that even bigger than the
The finality move is usually the same size as the initial move.
Okay. So where are we now?
So
We are ready.
we potentially have this big picture 1, 2, and we're starting on the three.
Yeah.
And the three is actually when you break down the three, it's actually composed of a five-wave move itself because it's the trending move. Now the
It won't
pullbacks
go
maybe
straight up, is what you're saying. It's going to have a couple little
yeah, it
corrections.
should have a couple little pullbacks in there in
Has
between.
to. Can't go straight up.
Sometimes they can rip and you can't even see the little pullbacks if it's really, really enthusiastic, like Western Digital is right now.
Oh man, I got out of that way too soon. I don't even
But
want to look at it.
when they have these nice little permutations in here, is and to me it means it's orderly and nice and smooth and going higher, and it's something you can take advantage of. And my browser just refreshed itself for whatever reason. Reload it. I may have to redraw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like this one.
Add switch tickers on me even. Cool. Love that. MRAM. Yeah, I gotta redraw it.
I
Cool.
don't know what they do. I saw the question, George. I have no idea what they do. I don't want to know what they do. Please don't even tell me what they do because I'll talk myself out of it. I just want to play what I see, not
And
what
that yeah, the sector is semiconductors, so
I
that's
just got done telling you not to tell me what
just the sector. I mean, come on now.
I got too much semiconductor exposure as it is.
That's where you love it though, man. That's where you're
I
making your
know.
money.
I know. I know.
It's not a bad thing if you're making money there.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is what we're looking for. And so
Hmm.
there's some other fib tricks you can do on here to kind of see what. So I was talking about the finality move is usually the same size as the first move. So we have some parallels in here. There's some typical things that happen. So that you would copy that and put it up here. Now, usually if this is a bullish move, the first move right here and the third move will be 1.618 times the first move, size of the first move there. So this move right here, this is how I predict where price is going. So from this low right here that we made, that was in a nice three-wave fashion, from that low right there to this high right there, that's why I have this fib line drawn on here, 1,618 times the first move.
Very nice.
So that's usually where we target the three right there. If it's and it doesn't have to stop there. It could outperform and keep going up even higher before we get that pullback. So this is just a typical stopping point. It can actually outperform and go higher. It bums me out though if we stop right here.
Is that 1.618? Is that the 75% chance it hits that?
So that's a little bit different pattern. Um, this is this is what I call a measured bounce pattern, and
Okay.
the the 75% chance pattern is those little permutations that we have along the
Okay.
way, and those occur when we get these bounces right here, like we had on the daily chart.
Yeah.
When we bounce off the roadmap line and we get this extension, that was a 75% there. So we're nearing a point where we might get another pullback.
Cool. I'm going to back up the truck.
So that one already played out right there. That's why I caution there may be a pullback in store. You see it spiked right there. You see that enthusiasm as it went right through the 618. That was it. I mean, that was the pattern. It fired off right there, got the 75% target right there. Actually went on for the 70% target. Now we're up close to this. This one's only 35% on this pattern. So it's actually really enthusiastic, which means it could be a really good play
Yeah.
and have power to go on up to that big, crazy target up there around 130.
Yeah.
I like this. I really do like this.
Yeah. Me too. I'm going to do the cash secured put in here. Um, because if it does pull back, which it looks like it might have a little pullback, that'll just help me load up more. And if it doesn't pull back and rips, I'm long. And if I get called out up in here, that'll be cool too. But yeah, I want more of this now. Now that I see your analysis, I just was eyeballing it, uh, and it looked good to me through my lens. But the way you've broke it down here now, yeah, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in pretty big.
It has a nice aggressive upside. Now, I could be wrong. Like we could fail. You know,
Totally. I failed a lot of times doing this.
this will be a
There's no
major resistance.
guarantees here, folks. This is pure speculation. There's no guarantees. Don't ever trade more than you can afford to lose. Don't listen to me. Don't follow me. I just like to tell you what I do in full disclosure.
So this 25 level where we peaked out originally, right after the IPO, that's going to be a pretty significant resistance. There's going to be people that have held since 2017. Maybe not a lot, but there's going to be people looking to get the fudge back out at that high.
Those are the people that say, I don't want the cheese. I just want out of the trap.
They've been
I'm
sitting
right
there
here.
for years,
Yeah.
waiting to get their money back. They've got a sell order sitting there at that high, and they just keep waiting. So that'll be a resistance right there, that all-time high. And then this 34 area will likely be, it could pause there for a day, it could pause there for a week, it could pause there for a month, likely to be a pause point at 34, and then again at 60. And those could be
look
pullback
at
points.
look at where it's that's at compared to where it's at now. I'll
Yeah,
take a pullback at 34,
that's a
and I'll take
double.
a pullback at 60
That's a
at
that's a
130.
that's a double, and then this is a 4x, and then this would be like almost a 10xer right up there. So,
Now, if it doesn't happen, don't blame me. I'm going to take my own loss, but I'm doing it.
and these are just the kind of things that we go hunting for. And
Yeah.
Jack, I'm really like I'm surprised you found it. Like, great job. I,
Hey, I still do a little research.
I hunt for
Uh,
these things every day, looking for these kind of proportions,
yeah.
and I haven't run across this one. So,
Well, I didn't find it from the pattern. I found it because it came up on some, I try to skim some headlines and stuff. I like tech, and this thing came back up, and I've been searching for it for about a half a year. I could not remember. I've typed in SRAM, DRAM, I could not figure out what the name of that stock was. And then I saw a little article in somewhere, Wall Street Journal or something, and it just mentioned the ticker. And I thought, damn, I got to look at that thing. And when I did, I just was like, wow, look at this. And I gave up on it. I was one of those guys that it bummed me out. It was just going sideways. And to me, that's dead money. I would rather deploy that capital in another trade rather than trying to hold something long forever. I hate that. So
and
I
they,
bailed.
yeah,
But
they
now
don't have that many shares. Only 22 million shares.
things can get really hot here.
345 million dollar market cap. I mean,
Tiny.
there's
It could be bought out.
so many companies could buy that out with petty cash.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Really, just like with 1 day sales. Yeah, I'm already long the stock, Oscar. And when we're done here on the show, I don't want to waste your time doing the trades myself, but I'm long the stock. I'm going to do some cash secured puts and some covered calls. But this is
And
just a little tiny baby stock. I
look,
don't know what this is.
look at that 87 employee. Our company that does the publishing right here is bigger than this company.
Yes, it is. It is. And they're not making any money yet. It's not real liquid. Volume isn't big. Yeah, I know. I can give you 100 reasons why not to buy it, right? I gave you a lot on it, why to buy it, technically analysis, but there's a lot of reasons why you would not buy it fundamentally. It's
This may
got
be
nothing.
in this may be the next hype stock. You never know. Like it could just start being, the hype. We've
Yeah.
we they figured out some key piece of quantum computing, or who knows? I mean,
Yeah, no, it was when I bought it the first time, it was because I read a story, which is the number one reason you should not ever buy a stock. But I read a long story about this company and how much one guy loved it, this one trader, hedge fund dude, and I just thought, what the heck, I'll take a speculation on it. And it did nothing. So I bailed. And like I say, I read about it again and I thought I'll take another look at the stock I bailed on. And I like what I see.
Yeah, it's got some ridiculous IV priced in here too. So, and that's why selling the puts is the juice right there.
Hmm. But the downside of selling the puts is, the stock goes to $5. The other downside is it rips and you're not long.
Yeah, the downside it runs to it go. You wake up tomorrow, it's at 150, and you're still sitting there with your 1250 put, and you're like, well, I made 68%, but but I missed out on 10x.
That's
So
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm going to do the triple header. Long the stock, sell covered calls on part of the long, and really, really go hard on the cash secured puts.
yeah,
Because the other thing is, if I do get a load of this stock, and what I didn't do the last time was, and I should have, is just cash float it forever like you did with Red Hat. That was my fault. I just was looking for a directional trade in it. It didn't happen. I was long it for a long time, 6 months or whatever, and I bailed on it. And had I looked back on that now, I would have done what you did with Red Hat and just continued to create cash flow on it until it could get to a spot where it could break, because that would have been a ton of money from 2017 to 2026.
yeah. I mean, really, this thing has done nothing for 9 years.
Yeah, bum
So
people out. And
yeah, just bumming people out as we talk about. So
why won't this thing go? Why won't it go higher? Why won't it go lower? Why, all this BS 2017 and now, I'm just thinking it's compressed.
yeah, I mean, eh, I was trying to pull up something. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause there too much. Me, was trying to pull up the all-time chart on Red Hat just to show everybody how it kind of bummed everybody out. Same kind of thing. If I can get it to
Yeah,
pull up.
I never should have bailed on it.
Let's see. Will it let me pull it all up?
Yeah, no institutions can play this one either. It's too cheap, too thin. But this story, folks, if you haven't heard the red hat treatment, you gotta hear this, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to pull up here. Gotta get enough years pulled in here if it'll let me. Come on, load the rest of it. There we go. Back to .com. There it is. There it is. So this is Red Hat. It is no longer traded. It was bought out by IBM for $190 a share back in 2018, 2019, I guess. I bought it down here when it was $3.50 after the .com bubble popped. I bought it at 350 and I bought it at 550. Now, that thing was bumming everybody out. The low was right here, right after the .com bubble when I bought. And I held on to this thing from down in here until Red Hat bought it out. I only ever bought 100 shares in my IRA. I had an IRA. I funded it with like $600 when I was like 18. It's like my first year I could have an IRA and put money in there. Bought this stock. And it wasn't immediately, I waited a little bit before I bought it, but I had never made another contribution. Only $600 ever got put in that account. And bought this stock. And then somewhere right over here, I learned to sell upside premium, as in sell calls against it. I already had the stock. I didn't learn about selling puts till later and doing cash secured puts, but I bought those shares and then started, held them for like a year or two and then started selling upside calls, learned about covered calls. And I kept doing that for the next, 15, 16, 17, 18 years. And
That's the folks right there. I gotta tell you, that's the part that kills me, because nobody sticks with something for 17 years. They don't stick with things for 17, 18 years. They don't. They quit. And they don't have perseverance and dedication and commitment like this guy does. That's part of the fascinating story, is that you didn't throw in the towel in 18 years blows my mind. But the other good part of the story is
So when IBM bought it out for 190 a share, do the math, 100 shares. I never had more shares, never bought more shares, just 100 shares. So that would be $19,000, right? But the account value right after I got the deposit from IBM, the account value was $26,000. So over the course of all this time, I had sold enough upside premium to generate another $7,000. Another $7,000. So I was negative $7,000 cost basis in those 100 shares. That to me in itself kind of blows my mind a little bit.
One of the best investments I've ever seen.
So the premium I got was, about 70, like $70 a share or something like that in premium on top of the $19,000 they gave me, the 190 a share they gave me. So
Now
that's
that's
that that's what selling premium for a lot of years can do for you.
and that's why I bring this up because if MRAM doesn't go anywhere, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stick with it this time.
And I've always kind of gotten lucky in picking stocks. I picked this one. I've picked a few others that have done stuff like this. I used to play Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. I was on the right side of earnings one year. I made almost $50,000 across a couple accounts. One position was made $40,000. Just one earnings play I did on that one. Um, and I've gotten lucky like this over and over. Now, COVID was my ultimate lucky play, but I mean, this percentage wise was probably the biggest trade I've ever did so far. Just crazy to take it from $3.50 to 190 and make $26,000 out of that 350 bucks.
That's awesome. You got to have to put that as a chapter in your new book.
So when Jack talks about the red hat treatment, this was a real trade I did, and I had no
18 years.
followers, had no followers, had no, this was just me trying to make a buck in the market.
18 years, one stock. People don't even stay married 18 years, man. I can't believe you got stuck in with this thing. That was awesome.
I
So
have
if
no
what's
notes, I have no records, I have no, people ask me questions about it. I just have the story. I didn't keep track of it. I didn't log it anywhere. I didn't let like that was all stuff I learned later to do. This was just me trying to teach myself how to make a buck in the market because my uncle told me. This is what gets even funnier, Jack, because of there's an Edward Jones office moving in downstairs for me.
yeah,
My uncle worked for Edward Jones, and I called him up when I turned 18 and funded my account and asked him what was the best way to learn how to do this. And he told me, under no uncertain terms should I mess with the stock market. People like me can't make money. I should close my E-Trade account, take my money back out, and never look at the market again. And that was like throwing the gauntlet at me.
yeah.
Um, people tell me I can't do things, and then I go and do them. So that's just kind of my personality. And here I am today doing this, teaching other people how to make money in the market because my uncle told me you can't make money in the market as an individual.
I love that, man. Yeah, that's good. Gregory says the same thing. You show him what is up.
Yeah, and years later, I'm laying under my car changing an oil pressure sensor, and he walks out with his sons, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh my, the oil pressure sensor blew a gasket and was leaking oil every time the engine spins, it squirts oil right out. So I'm changing the oil pressure sensor, and this is on Easter Sunday. I'm laying out there in the driveway at my grandparents' house with tools all over the place, and he's like, "Boys, come here a minute. I want to show you this guy. This guy does not let a problem keep him down. Any challenge, he figures out how to solve himself. This is the kind of guy you don't bet against."
That's
And
right.
yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny coming from him telling me to not not you can't make money in the market. And then years later, he probably didn't even remember either of those conversations. So yeah, he's not even an uncle I talked to.
Well, he'd be mighty impressed with your track record now.
Hey, several of my several of my family members have been quite impressed with what I do, and I owe it all to all of them. They all made their impression on me. I had an uncle that worked for mutual funds. He packaged up baskets of stocks and sold thousands of shares to mutual funds, other mutual funds and stuff like that. I had another uncle that worked, I think it's Deloitte Little, doing auditing for public companies. And he would take his insider information and place trades. I guess as long as you have the insider information and you act on it and you don't tell anybody else, it's not illegal. But as soon as you open your mouth and tell anybody else about it, then it's illegal. So he would make money taking advantage of things he knew about from the audits. But you know, so these are the kind of influences I've had. I see what they had done for their families, and I wanted the same sort of thing for my family. So I'm on a mission to do it.
Yeah, that's a great story. Yep. I had my motivation was just I wasn't going back to Gary, Indiana to wash trucks. And that's what my dad told me to do when I got fired from Dean Witter, that he had a job lined up for me next to the steel mill, washing semis. There's no way, man. No way I'm doing that. I would
And
rather sleep in my car and wash dishes than no, I'm not doing that. So
see,
yeah,
one of the things here is that Jack and I both came from no golden spoon, no, hedge fund account, no, neither of us born with $100 in our accounts, even, and
no,
we both built it ourselves basically to get where we are here today. So if that's the kind of thing you want to do, you're hanging out with the right kind of people.
that's for sure. That is for sure.
So
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at TSLL. Or are we done with are we done with MRAM? Is that our
I'm
new
done.
baby?
I'm done with it right for right now. I'll have to do a little more checking and see if I can get some positioning in there.
Okay. I'm going to
But
front run you just so you know.
like that. I like that chart pattern though.
I'm
Like
going
that
to front
chart
run
pattern.
you on that one.
Yes. I mean, hey, I like to take everybody with me on the trip. If we can all make a little money, we all make a little money. So
Yes, sir. All right, what we got here? I had the stock put to me at 1850 on the TSLL.
yeah, we're down at the bottom of the range here. I'm not fond of where we've gotten to right here on this drop yesterday. Holding in here would be really good, but we have earnings coming up on Tesla next week, so we may keep pushing down into those earnings just a little bit. It's actually next Wednesday is when earnings are, so week from today. And this being soft, could end up down here at a lower low than what we had right here. I'm just throwing out the technical pattern. I wanted to see this hold. This was very bullish right here. Now we got to reset that and look for a new reversal to show up. But when you zoom out and look at it, we're just in the same sideways chop we've been in since September. So
That's
not
it.
really, not really
No,
any concern for me.
I'm not concerned that Tesla's at 420, but that just seems awful cheap for the stock. Once they get off the narrative about not selling as many EVs in Europe and China as other companies and focus more on robotics and automation, I think the story is going to lead to higher prices.
And that's a very real possibility where we're going is that roadmap line right there. Just retest that daily support. So we didn't touch it here. Didn't touch it there. So it's been all the way back here in August since we touched it. And wouldn't surprise me one bit to come down here and touch it right around that 400, 410 area. Could do that right into earnings and then get a bounce. Now, 70% of the time on earnings, Tesla drops. Usually drops in average of 13 days post earnings before it finds a bottom. But 30% of the time we go ripping. And usually it's way outperforms on a rip than it does on a dip. So if it got something spicy that shows up and they talk about on earnings, it could rip. But as our man in here, Jacob, I think he's in the crowd today, usually says when his boss opens his mouth, usually makes the stock drop. So yeah, I don't see him in here today actually. So our friend Jacob that usually shows up in the chat, he works for Elon, and he says when his boss opens his mouth, the stock price usually drops. So during the earnings call, we usually see a pullback, and then sometimes it rips. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
What's going to happen here, in my opinion, is regardless of the earnings, they're probably going to disappoint. But if you focus on the guidance and what they say, that's going to be more important this time around, especially if the earnings are not good. It's whatever guidance they give, the words that come out of their mouth after the earnings. That's the thing that's going to pop it.
Now, we already know that they have disappointed on the cars they sold last year. We already know that. But they've got some new products that are going to come to the market this year. The Tesla Semi is supposed to start deliveries to
Mm.
customers, supposed to go into full production. The Cybercab, which is that gold colored car with two doors, is supposed to go into full production here either by the end of first quarter or beginning of second quarter. Then they have a third product they said should come on the market this year, which we don't really know about. What's the third one?
Robot.
I mean, is it the robot or is it something else? So we know the Optimus robot is out there, but they said, Elon was saying a third car. So I don't know if that's going to be a third vehicle. I don't think the robot's a vehicle. So I'm not sure what the third, this is something maybe later in the year that we find out about.
Personal aircraft.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. He said there would never be a motorcycle. To
He
your
said that?
dismay. Yeah, he said there would never be a motorcycle because they're inherently dangerous and he can't make
Oh,
them safe.
jeez. Well,
So,
listen, I would never in a billion years drive an electric motorcycle. Give me internal combustion all day long. I want to hear it.
yeah, it could be the Roadster, but they said they were going to show off the Roadster. I don't know that it's going into production. So,
A
um,
little two-seater convertible.
I believe the Roadster when I see it hit the road. They're going to
Hmm.
show it off like in May, but I don't know that it goes into production this year. Supposed to have three production cars. So,
You know what's so crazy is I just you never see an outboard motor on a boat that's electric. And I'd think with these short ranges, you're only out for a couple, 3 hours, that there'd be a big push into electric motors for boats, but it's nowhere.
yeah, I don't know. Never know.
Maybe it's too small a market.
Yeah, if it flies, floats, or another F word, better off renting anyway.
Okay. Renting in some states is illegal on one of those. All right. We can't get canceled. We've worked too hard to get canceled. Oh, man.
So that's Tesla for us. I know you still heavy on this one. We're getting a little
Yeah.
pullback.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm loving this one. I sold some 23 strike price puts.
That's all the way down here. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And the 32 call, which I'm a little concerned about. I put the triple header play on this. I bought the stock, sold some calls, and did some cash secured puts. But
Yeah, we're getting that pullback I mentioned. We came up
yeah,
just shy of the target there. This
yeah,
was the same exact pattern that we were just looking on at MRAM and looking
yeah.
at on NEM. This was the same pattern.
You
It
think this one's going to fly?
had a nested setup in here, and we're already. I was pointing out that resistance was up here at that 32 to 37 area, and that's exactly where we've kind of paused here. It could pull back into here, possibly down to your 23 put.
That'd be awesome for me.
And then if it gets the continuation, we could see some upside. Now, what we did though is we kind of turned down at this resistance, this gap fill. A lot of people discount gap downs. I think they turn into strong resistance points. And
Totally.
that's exactly what we've got here. The first attempt pulling down. So we're going to take, it's going to take another attempt at least to get through this resistance that we formed with that gap down.
So for folks that are newer, we got into this just because it was a failed IPO that got my attention. It just dropped so hard from its IPO price. And I normally don't look for bottoms, but I was thinking this is a little too cheap. So we started nibbling, and here we are now.
I took a trade here on this low and here on this low, selling puts, and right now I'm not on it. Don't have a position. But if we get back down to that 26 area, which is really close to where we are, I'll probably look at jumping in on some 23 puts again with you.
Mm-hmm. That's where
Uh,
I'm at. I like
So
it.
I'm going to go ahead and put my alert right here at 2604. If that triggers off, I need to update me a note, tell me what to remind myself what to do. So I strongly encourage everybody to edit the messages, not just that a ticker crosses a price, but put in a little note to yourself why you were interested in this so that you remember. If you're like me, you have 900 freaking alerts going off and you can't remember what the devil one of these was for. But if I put in there, look at selling, I should put selling on there. I'll probably remember what it was. Look at 23 puts, but look at selling 23 puts, fly crossing 26. And then I can pull up the chart and be like, oh yeah, I remember. And if you need more description than that, type in more description. So
Yeah.
it doesn't cost you anything to do that, except a couple moments of time.
Got a good question from iPhone 193 is if there is a pullback, would you buy calls to the upside? Never. The
Ah,
odds of success with buying calls is tiny. We like to sell options here.
yeah, I'll just sell. I'll just keep selling puts. This is where Jack and I differ a little bit. He likes to buy shares, and like the MRAM thing, he was triple headering it. Not going to miss out on the play. Me, I'll probably just sell some options, sell some puts, and if I get lucky and get put the shares, it was meant to be. If it just runs away like this one has so far, yeah, I made 80% ROI here and 80% ROI here, and I'm happy with that. I have no FOMO. I have no fear that I
I
missed
got
out on
FOMO
anything.
so bad. My FOMO's probably about 110 right now. I
So,
can't stand it when I find something like this and I don't make what I want to make. So
yeah.
yeah, I got FOMO bad, and that's why I'm putting the triple header on it.
So that's where Jack and I differ just a little bit on these. Yeah, I'm cool as a cucumber. I found that if I can just sleep at night and not worry about them and not, have FOMO or anything, I just do pretty darn good. And I mean, and this is all evidenced in the results that I show off right here. Like I do pretty good.
Very good.
I'm not sitting here crying about what I've done.
No FOMO.
No FOMO,
Just a
no chasing.
mercenary approach to bringing in income.
Just keep on chugging on it. And the only limiting factor here for me is the amount of cash that I have in the account. And I'm just growing that. And I'm on a plan to get this to $50,000 a month. And right now I'm at $11,500.
Not a bad sandwich.
And this keeps growing. Like we talk about this every day, and this number keeps getting bigger. So I'm inching it up little bit by little bit every day, working on the plan. My 3 month average is up to 30K. So that's not bad. But
Not bad at all.
it is front loaded with more recent price action. When we look at this, the bigger gains are more recent, smaller gains further out in time. I'm just pushing it up. And
Imagine what this is going to be if you stuck with Red Hat for 18 years, which just kills me. Imagine what this is going to be just in a couple years. I mean, yeah, nice job, as iPhone says. Yeah, you're doing awesome. 11 grand a month, man. That's real good money.
eh, I mean, I'm not sure it can be consistent yet. We'll see a couple months down the road. It's looking like it's going to be consistent because I have 30 grand over 3 months,
Yeah, it's
but
not a fluke. It's not
only
from getting
60
lucky.
grand, only 60 grand for the year so far. And I started this whole process here in April. So we've got May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, 9 months.
Grinding, grinding. Not you didn't get lucky buying a stock at 10 and having it go to 100. This is all from grinding.
Yeah, this is catching a few of those, like when it's right place, right time, and I get put the stock, I tend to get lucky on them. Had that happen twice. Everything
Uh,
else was just selling some puts.
Calls. I love getting the stocks put to me. That's been the gift that keeps on giving.
So everyone wants to know about this one. That was Rocket Lab. This one was Dollar Tree. And everything else in between, the biggest money maker in here, NASDAQ.
on the
Funny enough.
on the beer money trade.
Yeah, just go after NASDAQ. A little bit of money every single day. I've taken 146 trades on NASDAQ. It's 18,500 bucks is how much I've made.
Without
Just
ever
make
touching the stock, folks.
there's no stock to touch on NASDAQ.
Yeah, yeah.
You can only play the options. I play daily options trades on NASDAQ for a little bit of money, very small amount of money. And some people say too little money for the risk, but it adds up. It adds up in a big way. You can see there's the NASDAQ trade and there's the Rocket Lab trade. And then there's Dollar Tree right behind it.
So the big money maker is the one that didn't come from any stock appreciation, just
Yeah,
came from cash flow in it.
just cash flow, just the small little cash flow
It's a
trades every single day.
That's a
Just trying
chapter
to
two in your book.
just trying to make a little bit of money every single day. That's what happens right here. And then, what does that look like? It looks like this. A little bit of money every single day. I started that approach back here in October, trying to get a little bit of money in the account every day. The last loss I took for the day was back there on the 29th. So I'm almost 3 months with not a single loss. So just get
Impressive.
lucky. Just get lucky, baby.
Keep working. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah, Jack, I hear you got something to talk about here for everybody.
I do. I got a little cheat tool, I would say.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, I'm gonna take 60 seconds for station identification, and I'm gonna be right back and giving you the goods on my cheat tool. 1 second.
Now this is just a public auditing tool right here. It verifies my trades. My Robinhood platform uploads my trades, or these guys actually download my trades from Robinhood every night, verify the trades, post them publicly for everybody. This is public accountability. I'm on the leaderboards, and year to date, I don't have enough trades to show up on the leaderboard. Requires 100 trades. I'm not quite there yet. On the 1 year, you can see I'm ranked at number 132, with right at $60,000. On the 3 month, I'm ranked at 61st position with $30,000.
We lost your screen there, brother.
And I was just talking about, I quit sharing, but on the 1 month, I'm ranked at 54th. So I can share it back in case anybody wants to see it while Jack's getting his act together there.
Oh, good. I came back because I was like, wait. I was like, where'd Jack go?
Yeah, you should be able to see it now.
Nice.
There you go. Ranked at 54th out of all the thousands of traders that are on KInfo. Right there. So you jump in, you look at the leaderboard, roll down to number 54, and there's me right there for the month. So it's tough to be on the leaderboard.
It is.
Tough to be on the leaderboard. There, Jack's back.
Yeah, I got to take this boot off. Have you ever broke a leg?
I have not. I broke my arm when I was 5, and that's the last time I broke anything.
Did
Yeah,
they
I
use
broke my
that
arm too.
paper mache cast on your arm?
Yeah, they had that big old thing. I had to wear a trash bag in the and for like 6 weeks in the. It was in there during the summer too. Like nothing
Oh,
like it, man. When you're 5 years old and you gotta wear like a freaking cast all summer, it sucks.
oh
Yeah.
man.
Took me out of the swimming pool, took me out of the lake, took me out
Oh,
of the
Yeah. Oh,
scarred me for life there.
yeah. Now
brutal.
you wear a plastic boot, right from the knee, like the knee down and over the foot, and it is no
Oh,
good, man. It is a bad, very bad thing. So
gotta let
I've
it
been taking
breathe.
it off. Yeah, just man, it's enough is enough. I can't wear this thing all the time, so I'm taking it off.
I figured out how to slip my cast off,
Oh, yeah.
but I stopped doing that. My mom caught me one time. She's like, "What are you doing? Back on."
Put it on and leave it on, young man.
I was slipping it off to play video games. She was like, "You can't do that."
Yeah.
I
Right on.
can.
All
I'm
right.
supposed
Let me
to, but I
see what I
can.
got.
Anyway,
I got something for you.
what you got, Jack?
Let's take a look.
Ooh,
All right. I think it's working.
I think so.
So